Okay, hello everyone. How are you doing? It's Anthony Rios here, the Healing Shaman, and it's really good to be here with you today. I want to talk a little bit about, well, one, if you've been following my work, you know that I am the creator of the Rainbow Path. So if you go to school.com/the Rainbow Path/about, you will find me, or just look up the Rainbow Path on the school platform. Those of you who've already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. I really appreciate your support for this channel and for the work of healing that we're doing here. What else did I want to say about that? That's it for right now. So I just wanted to come on briefly and speak about what we're doing in the month of February. The theme for our work inside of the Rainbow Path is healing generational wounds and trauma, working on ancestral healing for healers. So the work that I do is I am a shamanic teacher, shamanic healer, a traditional curandero, which is a practice from Mexico in the southwestern part of the United States. And I've been studying shamanism for close to 30 years. The curandero practices are in my blood, in my lineage, and I teach. So, what I wanted to say about that is that I'm a firm believer that all of us have healing gifts. Each and every one of us, we have healing gifts that need to be nurtured if you want to become a healer and do healing work out in the world. So, in the Rainbow Path, I work with healers, healers in training, and people who know they have a healing gift, but are either afraid of that gift or don't know what to do with that gift. So in the Rainbow Path, we have a very grounded spirituality, a very grounded spiritual practice or set of practices that helps people, helps healers and healers in training to reveal their healing gifts to themselves. So you get to reveal your healing gift to yourself and then out into the world. Along the way, we have to do a lot of healing of our own, personal inner healing that gets us to a place where we are not worried anymore about what the hell anybody thinks about what we're doing, because what we're doing is a gift. It's a divine gift. I'm a firm believer that the divine has gifted many, many, many of us with this ability to heal, and we're humble. I know that when I'm doing this work, it's not me, it is a gift from the divine, from the creator, from the helping spirits that I work with, and the way that I've been trained in shamanism is shamanic practice. So inside the Rainbow Path, for working on the inner work that we need to do as healers, we work on ourselves first to reveal the gifts to ourselves and then out to the world. So what do we do when I say, what do I mean when I say we're working on ourselves first? Well, first, we get to heal our own wounding, our own trauma, our own drama around how we've been brought up, how we've been raised, how we've dealt with things since childhood, any traumatic events from childhood, early adulthood, on up to, middle age and further, so that we can be clear about one, that's the past. And two, learning how to be present now with boundaries. I teach a lot. I talk a lot about boundaries and I teach a lot about how to create very powerful boundaries as energetic protection, energetic boundaries, so that you can be an effective healer, so that you're not drained when you're working with people. So I'm a firm believer that when you're working as a healer, when you're done with a client, I think you should be fully energized and alive. It should not drain you, right? Because I've seen it over and over and over again with people who are very strong and grounded with themselves as human beings, and they own their gift, they claim their gift. When they're done healing, whether it's a 10-minute session or a 3-hour session, they're not tired. They're filled because they're filled with spiritual power. And that's an important piece to understand. If you're working with if you go to see somebody and they're worn out and they're tired, as a healer, they're off. Their energy is completely off, and probably they don't have the right kind of boundaries that they need to be effective. So we talk about boundaries, we talk about inner healing, how to work on ourselves for forgiving ourselves, letting go of all the drama and all the bullshit that we think is keeping us stuck. And it does keep a lot of people stuck. I was one of those people. I was an angry, bitter bitch for a long, long time. And I had a lot of resentments because I hadn't taken full responsibility for who I am in the world. Now, I'm fortunate to have had wonderful mentors and teachers to help me work through all that stuff, to work through the anger, through the bitterness, through the resentment, and to let it go. Release that crap once and for all. Do I still get mad? Oh, yeah. Do I get what's going on in the world right now and in the United States right now? You damn straight. Oh, I get mad, but it's a different kind of anger. It's a different kind of anger. And I know how to manage that anger so it doesn't throw me off track. It helps me see more clearly the work that's ahead of me. So that's another conversation to have. But what I want you to take from that piece is I would not be here today doing what I do now if I had not taken the time to heal, to heal the anger, the bitterness, the resentment, the hurt that I experienced, and learn how to forgive myself and forgive others and forgive everything around me that needed to be forgiven, mostly me, right? And then get out of my own way so that this healing gift could express itself out in the world. So, what else do I want to say about that? I think that those of you who have a healing gift and you're still waiting for permission from somebody, I don't know who, or you're still doubting yourself, or you think that you have to take another course or get another certificate or some other, I don't know, who you're watching on Instagram or TikTok that you think you need to watch them for another, you know, 10 years before you're ready. And it was one of my teachers back in 2015 who told me, he simply asked me, "Have you started your healing practice yet?" Might have been 2013. He said, "Have you started your healing practice yet?" And I said, and I hemmed and hawed. I said, "Oh, no, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing that." And he stopped me. He says, "You're ready. Just start the damn practice and get to work, get to the business of healing." So that's what I did. And I've never looked back. So, you don't need permission. You don't need permission from me. You don't need permission from any of those courses that you took or any of those certificates you have hanging on your wall, right? You don't. What you need is to claim your gift. When you claim your gift and you walk with the fear, with the self-doubt, right? You're going to walk with it and work through it. That's the beauty of this. You'll get to heal yourself along the way. You will heal, you'll set boundaries, you'll be able to stand on your own, fully aware of who you are and fully in love with yourself and fully surrounded by amazing people who want to help you along the way. So, I think it's just really important to know that if you've been doubting yourself, if you've been stuck in fear, you're waiting for somebody's permission, especially those of us who come from a traditional healing background, that it was in our family. If you go back 2 or 3 generations, you're going to find traditional healing in your family's lineage, right? You are. Before the advent of modern medicine, that's what all of our people did. I don't care where you come from, whether it's Mexico or Africa or Asia or Europe. You go back 3, 4 generations before the advent of modern medicine, everybody had traditional healing practices. Everybody, right? So, whatever your grandmother or grandfather or the elders did for everything from the common cold to belly aches to wounds to broken bones, all of that was done by people who were healers, right? So, we all have lineage. We all have lineage. We all have traditions. I've come across a lot of people, and it's an interesting conversation because a lot of people think that they're disrespecting the tradition by not honoring the quote unquote old ways. We don't know the old ways completely, right? Yes, there's a lot of, for those of you who have books and have written information, that's great, but we don't live 1800. We don't live in 1900, right? We live today. So I'm a firm believer that there is a responsible and respectable way to combine, to weave together the old traditions and the new traditions, right? I love neuroscience and neuroplasticity and hypnosis and all of these different modalities that are available to us now that are really, especially around neuroscience, that are confirming shamanic practices and what we've been doing in shamanism and traditional healing for a long, long time about the mind body connection. So I think it's really important that you be able to do that, right? If you want to mix your old traditions with something modern, like sound healing, right? And crystal bowls, do it. Do it. And you'll find out what works for you as a healer along the way. You'll find out what works for you, what you like and what you don't like. I've studied different modalities, and the ones that stuck for me were shamanic practices and the traditional curandero practices of my lineage. That's what I do. right? I know about Reiki, I know about gongs, I know about crystal bowls. I don't do those because that's just not it's not in my toolbox, right? Do what works for you. And the right people who need your help will find you. Because when you've let go of your own crap and your old wounds and you've forgiven yourself and you've given yourself permission to be the healer that you're destined to be, you'll start walking your path in a whole different way. Okay. So I'm going to leave that there. Again, my name is Anthony Rios. I'm the creator of the Rainbow Path on the school platform. School is a great platform. I really invite you to check it out. I'll put the link in the description and everything. But that's it. I just want you to know that you don't need permission to step into your healing gifts, to own your healing gifts. That's what I want to invite you to do. Own your healing gifts. They're yours. They're yours, and you can honor the tradition or lineage that you've come from. And you're also setting a new way for the future for those who come after us. Okay. So get on about the business of healing, be well, take care of yourself, set the boundaries, learn how to say yes to what you need to say yes to, learn how to say no to the things you need to say no to, and get on about the business of healing. All right. Again, Anthony Rios, the Healing Shaman, and we will talk again very soon. Thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel and watch all the stuff. All right. Thanks. Bye.